Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen. Map number 1 of our second series of the day has concluded, and now it's time to move on to map number 2. Virtus.pro, we're up against Chaos Esports Club, and we are about to jump into Train, the map that we saw Chaos play on yesterday, unfortunately losing it at the end of the day to Crazy. Now they get to attempt it once again against VP.
I mean, Chaos looked really good on Train yesterday at times. There was definitely some cracks, some holes in their play, and we saw that as well on Nuke. Like, things weren't really perfect for them. They really relied on individual players, especially Steeled, to kind of carry them to a finish line, because there were players who just were coming up empty-handed constantly, time and time again, and Snatchy just outmatched what Steel was doing. He outperformed him. There was nothing the man could do. Snatchy just had everything going for him. And then when finally we started to see Chaos pick up round here, round there, VP's money was piled to the roof. So chipping away at that economy enough to actually get them to a point where they can have an easier round never happened. I don't think we saw VP eco like once beyond the early rounds of that second half.
They had really healthy money for most of the game there, especially as we got towards the end and they really started to take control. So that's going to be the key part of this. Another thing that we should focus on is the fact that this is Chaos' map pick, meaning that, again, they're going to have to start on the T side of this one. That's where we saw some of the issues popping up for them on that last map as well. It's a very difficult side to play for Train. Very, like you said before, very strat heavy. And again, you have to bring up the reminder that the team itself is not, massive, doesn't have a massive history here just yet. In fact, they just got picked up by the org a few days ago. So we'll have to see if they're going to be ready to face off on Train against Virtus.pro themselves.
That VP logo throws me off. So used to the old one.
Yeah.
I actually forgot that it had changed until just now, this moment, because it was always there for so long.
They tried to change the color too at one point. Remember that?
Yeah, the purple and green.
The purple and green.
Because they had that
yeah, they had a sponsor or something like that.
The phone sponsor.
Yeah. And they got roasted.
I mean, it was an interesting colorway. I won't say bad things about it.
I think it just like wasn't explained that well. Like,
it was just,
about what why it was done. Like,
it was
that was
like
the problem.
Very tropical Skittles.
Yeah. I've heard it described that way.
Like the purple bag with the green Skittle. Like that's the kind of vibe I got from that colorway.
All right, so once again, folks, we are just waiting for, I believe, our players to get set and readied up here, and then we should be good to jump into the match. Train is going to prove itself. I'm especially curious to see, I think, Snatchy right now, how well his performance continues on. Oh.
Staring contest.
Hi there.
Who's going to win? PHR or the camera?
Well, the camera doesn't blink, so.
That's what you think.
Unless it's taking a picture. Oh my god, his eyes are getting watery. Just blink.
He still hasn't blinked.
That must hurt. Oh my god.
Oh, he broke. The smile finally comes out. So I'm not sure what the actual delay is here, but I'm sure we'll be jumping into things momentarily. Hopefully, the guys from Chaos are capable of bounce back. We haven't seen them play a best of 3 yet. This is obviously the first best of 3. They only played a best of 1 yesterday before being sent into today in this lower decider match, or elimination match for that matter. So I'm kind of curious how they take their bumps and bruises. Obviously, we see that a lot more from VP, mostly because they take lots of bumps and bruises. This team has not been on the same trajectory as you would expect with the name VP, the historic legacy of Polish Counter-Strike.
Sort of since that E-League final, basically, for the most part. We think
it's been downhill since then.
No, I guess you could kind of hallmark it almost at DreamHack Vegas, I think, because they made it to the finals there as well. The old
It's
roster
been a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It always was a roller coaster, up and down. Mm-hmm. Just the hills got smaller.
Yeah.
That's all that's really happened. The peaks for VP have gotten lower, and there are fewer and further between. So, there's a long period of just flat and then back to the hill again.
And actually won Vegas, just to clarify that a little bit there too, because that was that also happened about 2 years ago, back in 2017. But it looks like we are ready to go, folks, with the second map, so let's get into it. It's a best of 3 here. Virtus.pro already took map number 1 back on Nuke. It was a very close affair. Chaos tried to fight it to the bitter end, but just ran out of steam towards the end. Now, they've got a chance for redemption on their map pick. It's Train. Let's see if Chaos can get it done, or if VP is going through to the next match.
We've seen some crazy pistol rounds thus far, and some pistol highlights on this map specifically. One of them from a Polish player himself, Reitz, yesterday. Deagle Ace. Well, here we go into the pistol, fast towards the ladder room. It's a multi-drop, and it works out nicely. Some assist there from PHR onto Veggie. Cam gets the second kill. Me, who does respond in kind, Snacks already on the flank, coming down the ladder, but the bomb will be planted, and it's going to be a 4-on-3 retake here for VP. They drop down, and Mihu is coming in from Old Bomb. Snatchy already taken out by Whippy. Do they realize that Snacks is here? No, Snacks executes Whippy. One tap is all he needs.
Problem is they've wasted a lot of time now, so you can see Chaos are in incredibly safe positions inside of T Connector and Z. There's no way to, or excuse me, Heaven. There's no way to, and Z as well. There's no way to get these guys out of coverage, it seems. Ben's going to be able to find the first of 2 closeout kills here as he catches Snacks. Mihu, now the last one remaining. Not really much for him to do. He, in theory, could save the armor here, which he might just end up doing anyway by circumstance. But yeah, not something you really want to aim to do in that situation. So the 2 remaining Chaos players are going to, oh, never mind. He finds Cam as well. That's just going to be Ben making it out of the round alive.
Chaos now picking up the pistol. They won the pistol in the second half there on Nuke as well. Seems that their T-side pistols work out nicely for them. And again, we didn't really have a whole lot of history for them on Train, but they felt comfortable picking it yesterday, and then they pick it again today. So clearly that's something they've been working on. That's why you haven't seen it played too much. It's been a background map for them. Here we go on the anti-eco. Got to be careful. We've seen many teams fall victim to rounds just like these. Snatchy drop down to 10 HP. Nice nade on the retreat will do significant damage. Snatchy falls down, only takes 1 damage as he gets away with that scout. But the CT side has given up control of the box holes that they played aggressive for at the start of the round.
Chaos still looking for the right to initiate here to move into that B site, but Snacks sits at the ready up on top to stop the push from working its way back in. In they go. Snacks catching it a little bit late, but he does still catch the second player to move out down the ramp. Infinite will trade onto him, though, a few moments later. Now Steel working his way to the back lanes here, could do some serious damage. Runs into Snatchy, finds him, is looking for the second, but is not going to be able to find the connection. Veggie gets the kill, the trade onto him. Mihu also picks up a frag onto Infinite. Whippy does find Veggie sitting in the back lanes there, but he's not able to do much about it at this point in time as he fell back almost instantaneously. PHR has a chance to kill Cam, takes him a few shots, but he gets the job done, and now Whippy gets knocked out as well. Plenty of time left for that defuse, so VP coming onto the board quickly with the trade.
If I'm not mistaken, the exact same thing happened on Nuke as we watched Chaos win the pistol, and then they lost the round that followed. So they're not having a hard time in the pistol, but they're having a hard time in the anti-eco. Hopefully that'll be something they can fix moving forward. They didn't have that problem yesterday against Crazy playing on Train. How did we miss the opportunity for Crazy Train puns? How did I just now connect that? Man, so many opportunities wasted.
That's actually great. Wow.
We're going off
just
the
save
rails
that for the future. You know, just save it. Just keep that one in your pocket. I'm sure you might get a use for it at some point later on. We still got tomorrow too.
This is true. The buy coming in from the T side, a little bit bizarre. This is almost what you would see from a T side when they plant and pistol and lose the round. They would hero buy some SGs and toss them out there. So we have Infinite with an SG, as is Whippy. Deagles for the rest. Steel spamming through the floor, looking for someone that could be playing in ladder room. Not today, sir.
Ben also contemplating a little bit of a peek into T-Con here, but he's being very cautious of it, and probably for good reason. Rest of Chaos, for the most part, stacked outside of Ivy or T-Con itself. And as we grow under the 1 minute mark here, we should expect them to start getting aggressive relatively soon, the next 5 to 10 seconds. And there they are, starting to creep up Ivy now. 3 of them making a move for it. Mihu will be the first point of contact, more than likely, and he's got PHR close by. They need to rotate into it. Smoke will cover out Mihu, though. He was not spotted, as far as I know, but they just assume he's back here. A little bit of spam coming from him. They attempt to trade it. He's brought down to 35, but no luck on the actual trade just yet. They don't want to fully push through the smoke. PHR also comes out. Old Bomb Tunnel picks up 2 for himself, but the trades are there from Chaos. They keep it even in a 2v2 as Whippy and Infinite also find frags. 2 more, though, are found by VP, and they shut it down to take the lead.
The gamble buy doesn't really work out so well. Yes, they get kills, but no bomb plant. And VP ultimately comes out successful in the round. Again, they won the pistol, and they just couldn't chain those rounds together. So important on your T side here. PHR comes up big, pushing in from the old bomb train. So a save comes out. Steel with a scout buy. I actually wonder if that's accidental, because he is very low on cash.
Especially when you compare him to the rest of his teammates there. So it might have ended up being a misclick. He's going to end up losing himself pretty quickly in that situation, as he tries to go for a quick peek through T-Con and loses that scout. Ben was able to pick it up, but he's not looking too hot either. It's 7 HP. So Chaos, unfortunately, not with much hope of closing out on this round, let alone getting even a plant going for themselves.
Very low cash for this T side. They would have loved to get that bomb plant, that extra $800 on top of the 2 rounds of loss bonus. VP hasn't really skipped a beat. Yeah, sure, they lost that pistol, but looking pretty strong as they were on Nuke. Snacks, easy crushing that push. Snatchy gets the last one on the round. 3 rounds now for VP.
An easy one there for them on the anti-eco and the failed scout buy. Makes it a pretty easy process to push through that one and solidify their lead just a bit more. Some nice spam coming in here from Snacks as well. Good control on the spray, but once again, not much of a challenge coming back at them from Chaos that time, as it was quite literally a full save for everyone but Steel. Ooh.
We do have a pause coming in. Wondering if it's technical in nature.
Bit early for attack, but
I would imagine it is.
I wouldn't be too far from the truth.
No, it's tactical.
From VP.
Interesting.
I wouldn't be too surprised if it was Chaos, but VP taking the pause here is a bit odd to me. I guess maybe since we do have the gun round coming up here, trying to figure out what to do. But either way, I'm imagining Chaos is going to use this just as much here too, because there's still quite a bit for them to try and talk about here that might have happened in the first few rounds. They don't really have time to have a lengthy discussion on outside of a pause. So
yeah, I just imagine Chaos's reaction to this pause is probably like weird flex, but okay.
It's like, yeah, I mean,
go for it.
Use all 4 of those, man.
So Steel, because of the accidental scout buy, is only going to be on a P250 and some armor. SGs for the rest. Nice nade in. Ouch, Whippy. 55 damage on a nade.
I think it's max damage you can do with a nade while you have armor. Snatchy. It's going to move in to find Ben. Snacks with the next pickup here as well. Cam will find 1 trade, but so far that's the only thing Chaos have been able to get this round. Cam does get a second on Snacks. Drops down behind the oil tanker. The remaining VP players just trying to shut these guys down. Steel, of course, remained attached on flank watch where he could actually line up a kill. And again, Cam continuing to find impact. This is an even brawl now, down to a 2v2. Steel also has himself a Krieg from one of his dead teammates. So this is very, very winnable here for Chaos. I like what they're doing. They've seen the opening. They've seen that Z is left completely uncovered. They're just going to run right through.
I actually really like what they're doing, and you can see a certain type of grin on Steel's face as he gets that bomb planted. Very pleased with the decision as they wander onto the A site, free and clear. And the post plant is actually really difficult for VP to deal with.
VP, first of all, trying to figure out where these guys have gone in a post plant. There's a couple guesses they can make. Cam, however, has the angle from up in heaven to shoot Mihu from the drop hole. That's going to take him out. Everything falling to PHR now for VP. To be a great recovery from Chaos with how that execute started out, and indeed, it's going to come to pass. Beautiful stuff in the 2vx, specifically from Cam to control the inner sight, but for Steel as well for helping out with the quick lateral there that they pulled by going through Z.
That's his 2nd ace on the tournament, by the way. Both of them on train. He had one yesterday against Crazy that started with an MP9 in ladder room and ended up being an ace. And he does it again here. This angle, I almost wonder if Mihu was like, I don't even know. Where did I die from? I have no idea. Because that's such a weird angle. You don't even get like a muzzle flash. You get nothing.
So tiny. But a massive round from Cam right there. And props need to be given to him for that. VP still in it, at least for this round, but money has run dry. This will be the last full buy they get for the time being. Veggie, great transfer. And a good assist from PHR on the flash on a Whippy there too, but PHR with 2 kills, and this is the same story so far for a lot of these opening rounds for Chaos, is just losing players due to aggressive peaks from VP or Chaos kind of overextending themselves a little bit too early. Overall, though, VP constantly getting this early man advantage, but that does not mean the round is over yet, especially when we look at the results from just the last round. Snatchy picks off Infinite, and we've got Cam and Steel again as the dynamic duo here, although Cam will suffer a much earlier death this time, leaving Steel alone.
Yeah, he was spotted as well. Nice shot, though. Takes down Mihu, so a little bit of extra bloodshed in the round. But it was Snacks, patient as ever, just sitting up at the top of that ladder, kind of giving them sight control, or what they thought was sight control. VP will take the round away, and the rug pulled out from underneath Chaos's feet.
Virtus.pro are going to work their way up. Have a pretty heavy stack on the A site to start out this round. They'll keep a quick rotate in position. That'll be Snatchy playing that. And Snacks playing close to the ramp itself. Once again, though, look at this. VP going to get incredibly aggressive, and they can do it on this round when you look at the buy that Chaos have, just forcing out the remainder of their own money here. It's going to be a little bit dangerous considering those pistols can still wreak havoc up close like the angle PHR is playing, but not necessarily playing for kills, more so to deny real estate to Chaos at the moment.
Right now, this half looking a little bit reminiscent of a Train game we watched yesterday. I believe it was the Sprout game, where they could not manage to chain rounds together on Train in that first half. Hopefully that doesn't happen here to Chaos. I love the boost, and it actually pays off. Snatchy was on his way back towards Z. And that's a big player to take down. Snacks playing aggro yet again. Snacks looking like old Snacks.
2v3 situation now. Snacks going to try to hold on. The flash going out for him. Oh, but just before it implodes, Steel and Infinite are able to pick up 2 kills. Veggie, the last man standing, and Infinite shuts it down for Chaos. Another amazing recovery from them in the mid-round.
Infinite says, anything you can do, I can do better. Snacks gets the 3K pushing past the smoke. Seriously, reminding me of Snacks from years prior. Coming alive here, but unfortunately, Infinite matched his output. And at a more important time, when there was only 3 left, ends up getting those last 2 kills. So it will be Chaos finding their 3rd round, scratching and clawing their way to each of these victories, but now they've got VP broke, which is something they struggled to do on Nuke in the last map.
And on this round specifically, they've already been able to kind of bomb out Snatchy with those HE grenades. Veggie's been picked. So nice, easy start to this one for Chaos as VP are on the eco. Snacks causing these problems again, though. Hiding right behind Infinite. There we go. 3rd knife of the series as he's able to knock down Infinite with it. Whippy gets the trade, though, pretty quickly after that as he finds PHR from inside of T-Con.
This does make them kind of fumble onto the site, though, because they're afraid about what could be coming through. Mihu actually capitalizes on a team flash. That's another shot for Mihu. Can't make it work with the SG, but the damage has been dealt. Steel and Whippy both low on HP, and Snacks is on the site. They do not have the bomb, but they've got plenty of time to work with.
It's got the Krieg to work with here, too. Finds an angle up on top. That's the first player dead. Steel's only got 5 HP to try and clutch this out. Snacks is going to go back to the safety of Z for the time being, and Steel is going for the long wrap out all the way from short lane to the back of Z, over by the old bomb tunnel. Start to put this on the ground. Now, Snacks made a bit of an error here. Assumed that Steel would have gone for the rotate through either ladder or T-Con and over to the B site. But at this point, that's not a huge deal. The problem is going to become when, yeah, he's allowing Steel all this time to get into a position to counter out his re-rotation to come back in. Steel, though, at 5 HP, he's got to be so careful about how he approaches this. He's doing it perfectly right now. Snacks taps onto the bomb. Steel won't take the bait on that one. A smart read from Steel. Great game sense coming in here. In a moment, he might have the peak opportunity as well. And there it is! Steel with the beautiful 1v1 clutch. Shuts out another round for Chaos.
So well read. He could have just stuck that bomb and ended the round, but carefully trying to figure out the position from Steel, and Steel gave him nothing. No hints, no clues. Here's how it all started, though. Snacks gets that knife, upgrades to the SG, does an end round to Z. Meanwhile, then Mihu's on the A site. A team flash nets him the first kill, finds a quick 1-dig on the second, and all of a sudden the round's been spun around. Here again, we see that artillery strike. The nade goes in deep towards the train stop, does a little bit of damage this time, not going to take anybody down below too much. Snatchy, the one who takes the brunt of it, just dropped down to 88. It is just pistols coming in from VP, though.
Yeah, another full save for them here as they are still rebuilding the money situation from those losses they took recently to Chaos. Chaos is actually just going to walk right out in the B this time around. VP's trying to go for a full 5-man rotate, but it's happening about 5 to 10 seconds too late, unfortunately. If it had happened earlier, it might have been able to get in a position to pick up some kills, but I think now they're kind of just walking into a slaughterhouse if they continue to try and retake this site.
Chaos did get off to a bumpy start here on Train, but they've corrected course. Found themselves back on the rails yet again. VP just on pistols. Snacks, the caboose on the play, does actually end up getting a kill with that deagle. He's far behind everyone else. They're still making room towards this site with pistols. They don't have a kit, so they can't defuse, but they can steal guns away, and steal they shall.
And more importantly, do some really good eco damage here too.
Mihu survives 1 HP with the SG.
So Mihu lucky to be making it out of that one with the stolen Krieg. But yeah, once again, money building for Chaos is not going to happen here. Cam will get a little bit, but not in actuality because he has to donate a gun. He dropped an op for Whippy. And Whippy's still going to have to buy out all of his money here as well. Well, actually, Infinite gets the op, excuse me. Either way, money is going to be spent pretty much to its entirety, and only Infinite is going to be left with extra cash as a result of that.
Infinite with the op, missed shot. He doesn't realize he's burning. He's looking for an opening. He can't quite find it. Gets dropped down to 60. His teammate Cam is already dead. He went for the fast drop down ladder. Steel tries to repeat the performance. PHR goes for the encore. 2 kills early here for VP. Chaos down.
It's also Chaos being completely called off from their play to try and go through T-Con and just go for the usual A split. Still might be actually attempting the A push though. I was looking for a second like they were all going to head up through White Halls and into box, but
I do have to laugh a little. You notice the sticker on Infinite's Mac 10?
No, I didn't.
It's Otto from Crazy.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. They played it yesterday.
That's funny, actually.
Do you think he got his autograph?
Maybe, yeah.
Signed my mouse pad.
Got heated over something yesterday, and now he's like, "This is my revenge gun," or something like that. Like, there's a lot. This is a very long story. We just don't know it yet. So, well, VP kind of just sitting here waiting for the push to come in, not doing a whole lot of exploring since they still have full map control. They've got box halls. They've got drop. You don't really want to go investigating Ivy when everything else is covered, as that's more than likely where they're at. Snatchy's got the read on this. Going to be able to pick up a first kill onto Infinite here. Mihu then rotates in. That's the bomb gone. Whippy is the only one left. He's got an op, so realistically, if he can get out of here from Ivy, try to save that. As the round is not going to be happening here, guys.
Yesterday, when they played Train against Crazy, they got 6 rounds on their T side, but it was a lot harder for them to earn. They won the first 3, so they won the pistol in the rounds that followed, and then they had a bit of a drought. 5 straight rounds from Crazy before they picked up 1. And then they let Crazy right back into it again. They closed out the half with the last 2. So that half could have been a little bit different for them. They've got 5 rounds already now. That's not too shabby on your T side of Train. And based on the play we've seen thus far, they could very easily find 1 or 2 more to make this a very solid T side and switch over to the CT side where they looked much more competent in that first map.
By the way, things will be tied up now at 5-5. Chaos losing control of the lead they worked so hard to get. And now Virtus.pro, once again, going to try and shut this down. Bold peek from whoever moves in on the sandwich. I believe that was Veggie. Tries to take the duel against Whippy.
Is a Veggie sandwich?
You could say that, yeah. PHR also waiting for the drop down. Steel trying to bait this out a little bit, but PHR not taking it. So won't have confirmation that there is someone down there unless they face check it, which probably not a smart idea considering the buy rate now.
We are going to see what appears to be a 5-man execute towards the B site. They've got to watch for that fast ladder rotate. There's Snatchy with the op from distance. An early kill onto Steel before anything was even thrown out. So Steel, we watched this yesterday. Steel was frequently the intel man leading the charge, dying first to get that information. And that's exactly what starts out here in this 11th round. Smoke will go down on upper to give them some room to work with. Snatchy wants to challenge this, so he actually wanders right into the smoke. This is a ballsy move with an op, but he's got his teammates playing defense as well. Snacks is in the site. Snatchy might not need to do anything. It's only one that remains. It's Bentley, wow. And he wanders through and says, "Hi, I've got an op." No scope to the belly. That'll be VP's round to take yet again.
I was a little bit worried we had seen a fall off from Snatchy there, but I think he's doing much better now that the economy's kind of restabilized itself, and most importantly, he can actually buy the op to work with. So that's starting to become an issue here now that in previous rounds, Chaos weren't really having to deal with, but he's back now, and that's just another thing that Chaos will have to be watching out for as they go for, especially these inner executes, that Snatchy seems to be, for the most part, defending the inner side. Now Chaos will call their first pause here after they used the one earlier from their opponents. That happened at a bit of a strange time. This one for Chaos making a lot of sense now as they have seemingly hit a wall.
Does feel like they are struggling to match the output on a player-by-player basis of VP. There's been flashes. we've seen Infinite come up big. When Snacks had a 3K, he matched that with his own. But it is just going to be pistols coming out here from Chaos, so not a full eco. They did buy a little bit of utility, but that's about all they got. There's clearly a plan, but the plan doesn't work out so well early on. That nade could do some significant damage as well. It does. Everyone coming in from Ivy very low. They somehow get a kill with a Glock amidst all the chaos.
I think it's the fastest round of this series yet. Nice closeout there coming in from VP. And they will once again be able to push their lead forward here as things continue to look better and better for them. The lead starting to remain more consistent now as well at a 7-5 scoreline. One more, and they've got the advantage secured, but considering this is Train, they would definitely want to try to run a gauntlet at this point and try to get up to 10 or 9 in a worst-case scenario here if they want to still feel secure about themselves going into the second half. It still tends to be a relatively CT-sided map here.
Nice shot from Snatchy. Steel went with the pop flash, didn't really work out so well. PHR is going to spot Cam up top. The nade goes out, does a little damage, and yet again, they have absolutely no control of ladder room whatsoever. Every time they go for it, it feels like it backfires. And then even when they do get it, Snatch comes in on the backside and knifes you.
And it's really killing their ability to execute onto A. I mean, you could see every single time these A executes are pretty much set up, ready to go, even towards Ivy even. They have the utility set up there, but it's always waiting on the drop control, and it seemed impossible for Chaos to actually get these last 3 or 4 rounds now.
Whippy will be able to spot this player coming in, but Mihu, he's already got the read. So again, Infinite. He's been the hero at times. His stats don't necessarily illustrate that. Likely to get picked off, and that is in fact the case. Snatchy again, a dominant force with that AWP.
Just waiting for them at quite a few positions is the other problem too, is just kind of walking right out into him a lot of the time. So he's got a really great read out to the Chaos offense right now. So it's always unfortunate there too, you know, a big build up onto the pause and everything from Chaos and then just get completely flatlined on the next round. So we have to hope that whatever they were discussing in the pause wasn't necessarily executed upon entirely in that last round there. Clearly it did not work the way they would have hoped. Snatchy just going all the way into box balls now, tries to go for a second kill, but is knocked out. That's going to put an op in the hands of the T's, and not only that, but Ben is able to pick up a second kill now on Snacks. So they do have a little bit of firepower to work with, especially if they get down ramp and find that other creep, which Ben just got.
Yeah, they heard that ladder, they know that he's here, and that falls apart pretty quickly. So 9 rounds now for VP. Will it be another 9-6? Is Chaos just going to win the tail end of this one and basically get a repeat of that first Train match they played yesterday against Crazy?
Honestly, I would be surprised if I saw them at this point for Chaos, because these last few rounds have just looked very, very weak for them.
Yeah, they haven't. They every time they go for that ladder room control, it falls flat.
It's not even ladder room anymore either. It's like the entirety of back halls, because that last round they kind of got run into as well. To be fair, like, you know, not the greatest round to make that judgment on considering the bye they had, but we've seen that happen in past rounds too, where Snatchy just holds upper and no one can get out, and that's the end of it basically.
Oh, look at the intel coming in from Mihu. He pushed aggressively on Ivy, so he saw these smokes going out. He's going to be able to tell them what's going on. Still though, the T side's able to get some kills outside. Cam finds 1. But 2 players have died in the meantime. And look at Veggie's position. He's up top in heaven. Still, though, Cam gets the clear. That's 2 kills for him now on the round. He'll swing wide, get spotted by the AWP, who's sitting back towards Old Bomb. And speaking of Bomb, it's pretty far away. Steel's actually bringing it now through Ivy. So despite the bomb site control, they weren't able to actually do anything with it. Steel now has to win the 1v2.
Steel already played one of these 1vx situations in an incredibly smart manner earlier on today, but has made a lot of very smart moves for the rest of his team here in these matches too. It's another situation where we just get to see all him in the game right now. Everything he brings to the table, from the mind and the aim, all coming out in this 1v2 clutch. He's been able to successfully sneak through the site. But to be fair, VP are very much aware of the fact that he might try to go for a rotate. That's why they have players in the back halls, or rather in the back tunnels. So Steel is going to complete this, work his way up, get into box, and start that rotate down B. Problem is he's doing it incredibly slowly, and Snacks, he already seems to have an idea about what's going on.
It's all going to come down to timing here. Now Snacks is low on HP, so if he spots Snacks at all, now he's going to go for the open plant. I don't think Snacks actually heard the plant sound, so Steel is able to get it. And now he has to play post-plant. Now, he does have a molly, but the bomb isn't exactly planted for that
also
typical molly spot.
Also, 2 smokes on the CTs.
Yeah. They also have mollies themselves.
Yeah,
2 incendiaries.
They could just molly him out.
It's very difficult. He might actually have to swing into the fire in order to win this round.
He's going to have to. First molly going down above him. He's got his own, but okay. Tosses the molly out from there. That should cover it. They're expecting that, though. So immediately, both of their smokes go on top of it. He's going to jump out here, try to make this play. Oh, he's flashed out. Such poor timing on that one, too. So nothing he can do to win that. Virtus.pro pick up the 2v1, and they're going to take a 10-5 lead at the end of the first half. Stick with us, folks. Half number 2 is coming up right after this.
There couldn't be a better time. All that I can see is sunshine. Lazy hours come and go. Watched them as they're passing so slow. Nothing left I need to know. Just standing here to feel the wind blow. Feel it in the morning, feel it in the evening, feel it in the dark night too. Floating in an ocean, sweet harmonic motion. Hope that you can feel it too. Didn't even cross my mind. Any day could ever be this fun. Couldn't be a better time. All that I can see is sunshine.
Welcome back yet again, ladies and gentlemen. Virtus.pro, we're up against Chaos Esports Club in our Group B elimination match. VP have the advantage both in map share and in round share here on Train. They are 6 rounds away from the next matchup later on today and knocking Chaos out of the event. Let's see if they can get it done.
I still have faith. I believe that Chaos can bring this back, and it's really going to have to start here in this pistol.
Can't have another VP pistol win, otherwise I fear the chances for Chaos will go down drastically. That's a good start, though. Whippy with 2 fast headshots. They'll be traded out by Mihu, but the damage already done. We're down to a 4v3. No one else from VP able to find kills yet, but there is a nice headshot onto Infinite and Cam. But Cam gets the better of Mihu and eventually takes him down. We've got a flank coming in from Steel as well, but hold on. They might be able to catch it. No, even better. Steel's realized the rotate's happening, so they can start moving from the B site a little bit quicker.
Steel's going to plant on his side, too, so it's going to be a free kill on the bomb planter.
Steel will work his way out. There you go. Bomb planter goes down. 1 player left remaining in a 1v4 situation. Doesn't stand a chance. Steel shuts it down, and Chaos have their chance to get back into this game.
Even without that intel, they very likely had that round under wraps, but it makes things so much easier once Steel is able to spot out where they're coming from and understands the play perfectly. Does struggle at killing the bomb planter before the bomb could go down, so probably not thrilled with that, as it will guarantee some extra money, and you might see that SG buy that's been so ubiquitous with Counter-Strike lately. 2 players bringing in the Krieg in the second round really kind of throws a spanner in the works when you're on your CT side, because you got to figure out how you're going to react to that. There's the first one. We don't find a second. So, oh no, there you go. 2 SGs on the ground in play. Exactly what you expect to see.
VP already have been able to shut the second round down quite a few times in this series, if memory serves me correctly. At least at the beginning of this half, or at the beginning of this map, they did it once. Ben's going to start things out well this time, however, by finding Snatchy. Snacks as well gets dinked down to 3 HP. So not the greatest start for VP here in terms of trying to find that impact. The only other damage they've done is about 40 onto Ben.
So they won the pistol in the first half on Nuke. They lost the pistol but won the anti-eco on the second half. And then the first half, they lost the pistol and won the anti-eco. This time, though, I love that Chaos went with full rifles. Like, the only person with an SMG is Infinite. Everyone else was like, no, 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 no. We're not playing that game any longer because the game has shifted. Now, the barrel sticks out ever so slightly here over in the ladder room. And Veggie is just waiting for this one, the peak to come through. The smoke's going to go down. So he can, at that point, just ignore it.
There's safety now that it has gone down. And we are going to be able to see the push come out a little bit more here from VP. Veggie, Snacks, and PHR trying to get this done right now. Veggie as he leads the charge. I mean, good utility usage here. They've smoked out 2 players directly now. One over towards T-Con first, and then another one here on the Ivy tunnel. So they're doing good work to try and avoid the fight for as long as possible. And of course, trying to set themselves up for a win, but ultimately Steel finds the first in this fight. Veggie will get a trade. Ben trades it right back, and now Snacks is alone with a scout in a 1v2. And only 3 HP to play with. 1 for each player left in the server. Quickly gets deleted as Cam finishes off the round.
A little bit sloppy on the round. A few more kills coming in for VP than you'd like to see. But they did come in with some enhanced hardware. Obviously bringing the SGs into play in the Scout as well. Gave them a little bit more boost, a little more oomph than you'd expect to see. Now it's the pistol round, and Chaos responds exactly like they should. SMGs for 3, so MP9s for Steel, Infinite, and Ben, trying to cash in on this opportunity.
Continuing to slowly work their way through those upper halls. Virtus.pro are going to be taking control here. Trying to transition this more than likely onto a B hit. We got a flash going down for Snacks to take control of ladder, and it is free for the taking. So they have that option too. Trying to funnel 5 players in a ladder, though, is not a fun thing to do. So I highly doubt we're going to see VP try that. It's definitely looking like they're going to go for another interplay here, and out come the nades to prove that.
Flashbang goes out. Infinite not really playing a position where he's going to get flashed by that. It's Steel, though, on the site who should be able to deny the plant and find himself a few more kills. MP9 does get away from him for a moment, but now it's down to 2, and now just 1. Snacks isolated and alone. The P250 not even able to best the USP. Good round coming in from Chaos. A good way for them to make some extra money as well, with Steel getting 3 of those kills on an MP9.
Chaos now just 2 more rounds away from being able to tie this map up. Possibly reigniting their chances in this series as well if we take it all the way to map number 3. A little highlight reel, Steel ripping stuff up once again. So move into the next round. Finally, full buy is in play here for Virtus.pro. 2 Kriegs, 2 AKs, and an AWP on Snatchy. And that's that AWP that Chaos have to be ever so careful of. It proved once again to be a thorn in their side on the CT side. It's had a little bit more limited use on the T side, even going back to Nuke, but that doesn't mean it can't do work.
Ooh, the run boost works out so well. I mean, Steel wasn't there to actually see the leap, but the peak comes after. It doesn't matter regardless. They do end up winning the duel. Whippy able to get another kill with their AWP. It's me who strikes back.
It's that aggressive run boost as well that finds them the opening kill. But as you said, the trade quickly coming in, but at the same time, VP still maintaining a man advantage. Ben, though, going to be able to sneak around me, who was not watching the angle, so Ben clips him off. And now we're back even yet again, down to a 3v3. And VP, look at the minimap right now. They're so heavily split up. The 2 players in back halls can work together to go for an interplay. But Veggie is pretty much going to be on his own for quite a few minutes, just trying to make some noise and draw the attention. Make sure the rotates don't end up happening. VP does have a free walk-in. And Chaos, well, they're going to have to try and find some intel soon.
Oh, the timing on this. This is huge. Infinite making his way up the ladder. And he's going to get the backstab onto Snatchy. That's the bomb down as well. Does he go for the knife? Payback finally comes as he takes down the bomb with just 25 seconds left. That makes the play so much harder, but PHR, he's not even concerned about the bomb. He's going to keep pressing that fight towards C. Meanwhile, there's one on the outer yard. That's Veggie, who's down very low on HP. But again, the clock proving to be a problem. And uh-oh, not looking good right now. It's up to the MP9 with just 10 seconds left. He should be trying to stay alive. The round's won. They've already run in opposite directions. It's okay.
VP choosing the money over the win here, as they are not going to try and chase down Infinite, especially at close quarters. So that's Chaos's 9th round going up onto the board.
That's a huge round for Infinite. So he gets a knife kill and he finds an AWP.
Yep. So he gets a massive amount of bonus money. coming off of that one. That's our 4th knife kill of this series, by the way. That's quite a bit.
Yeah, Ben had the first one on the vents and nuke.
There was another one later on in that round. That
Yeah,
very
there was
same
two that round. I think it was Snacks outside or Snatchy.
Yeah, I forget exactly who died to who there. And then we had one earlier in this map, too.
I think it was Whippy outside. He actually managed to get behind him.
It's basically like people keep getting revenge for getting knifed.
Revenge.
Yeah. Or it's the guy who did the knifing that died or something like that. Whippy's going to strike first this time. Does that aggressive push that we were seeing Snatchy start to do towards the end of the first half and is able to find the pick on Snacks with that. To be fair, VP did get a full buy, but losing this player early on is not in the cards for them. Also, when you consider their lack of utility, this doesn't make things easier for them either.
Again, that train game yesterday against Crazy, it did feel like CT's side was Chaos's bread and butter. And now they've switched over, and you can see that already illustrated in these first couple of rounds. Ben lead with the op, should be able to spot them. Does he see the boost though? Yes, he does. Catches him as he jumps. Snatchy never stood a chance. The man advantage now, a 2-man advantage. VP has gained very little map control outside of this upper push.
Unfortunately, I think taking too slow of an approach to this, Chaos have the read onto the general strategy. VP aren't necessarily trying anything too crazy here, so Chaos have been able to figure it out quite quickly. Almost another pick there for Whippy, but he also takes quite a few shots from PHR on the return. He'll fall back, take up a new position in a few seconds here and reattempt it. And then meanwhile, Cam tries to go aggro on the inside of T-Con, gets punished for it by Mihu. Again though, a dink is found, or not a dink, but quite a bit of damage is found onto Mihu. So you've got both Mihu and PHR incredibly low now. Oh, push, oh no, it worked! And he got the bomb too! So the round is now over. Oh my god, he's up 2 now. Mihu finally gonna put Steel down before he goes too crazy on them.
Steel's got to be having a little bit of a giggle there on the ladder with the MP9. That close just kind of lets it unload. And again, VP find themselves in a situation where the clock is expiring. And that's 10-10. We're all tied up here. So VP had that strong lead at the half, 10-5. Chaos has erased that lead and balanced out the scoreline. And these rounds have been pretty solid from Chaos as well.
Seems that they're here to go the distance. They haven't been broken just yet. They're still going to keep that double op setup alive as they move into the 21st round. VP in the meanwhile, a scrap buy at best for them here. Oh, a nice opener from Snatchy though. Veggie with the flash assist from overhead there, knocked out Cam. Not going to be able to take out either of the operas yet though, and a lot of that pressure is now going to be focused on Snatchy specifically. They know exactly where he'll re-peek from, and he's already died at least once, if not multiple times, so trying to go back in for another re-peek at the same angle. So you might want to reconsider this, or at least have a sacrificial lamb go in his place. He's going to try to swing out against Whippy here.
Ooh, Infinite spotted Snacks. He was aggressive in that box hall push. He has to be careful. It'll actually be Steel, though, who goes up at the top of ladder. Whippy there with the op. Nice nade as well to take some extra damage. Bentley not able to connect with the AWP, so they do have control of Olaf.
Nothing outside of it, though. That's going to become a bit of a problem for them here. CT still have 4 smokes to use as well. If they want to block any push, like from Sandwich here for Steel, or potentially another option. But at the moment, that is not going to work too well into their favor. They are holding. Virtus.pro are continuously, I think, assuming that Chaos are going to be the one to make a mistake, and they'll be able to leverage a man advantage back from that. And it seems in this case, that's going to be true. They find the pick right outside of Sandwich as Steel goes hunting for intel. Ben, again, though, able to immediately trade it back into his team's favor. He knocks out Mihu. 30 seconds left on this one, too. Veggie is also found. We're down to just PHR. He's found the first pick in a 1v2. But now he's stuck in Sandwich.
You got to force him to go grab that bomb as well. Now they know where that op is, so PHR is going on the hunt. He's looking for him, but Whippy is playing this one. A little bit of rope-a-dope there going around on those boxes. Some security shots being fired out. But it's Chaos now taking the lead away from VP. We haven't seen Chaos in that position in quite some time.
Even with the trades that we had there, was the 2 ops that make it out of it, so economically, getting the best situation out of that possible. Maybe that nice last shot there as he goes out in the open. We do have to see Steel downgrade, but besides that, the team is still going to be looking good off their win, and VP also coming back into this with another buy for themselves.
Full loss bonus right now for VP, so they've definitely got the money.
Snatchy also striking first this time, finally putting Whippy in his place for attempting that peak we'd been seeing previously in the series. Infinite, though, going to try and pick this up. Finds himself the gun pickup here, and more importantly, he's going to be able to make it out alive with it. I'm sure VP will notice this, so they'll be very much aware of the fact that that op still has presence somewhere on the map, and more importantly, somewhere towards them. But where exactly it's gone, they won't know that for certain soon. Steel taking up position. He's not looking for a duel at ramp. He's trying to kill the upper player instead, but he's not going to get one. Instead, moves over, finds not one, but two of the ramp players before being traded up by Snacks. Infinite and Cam coming for the shutdown, and that is it for VP. The execute does not work out, and Veggie's now alone in a 1v3, stuck behind a smoke wall.
A bomb plant here would have given them enough money to go for by goes for the one tap on the leaping target. A second one tap attempted, but Cam's like, nah.
A bit of a much-needed change, at least that time, for VP from my perspective. As I was getting a little bit worried, VP were getting kind of too comfortable with their slow playstyle, and it was just giving Chaos far too much time to analyze these rounds, figure them out, and especially if VP's initial push failed and they had to move it somewhere else, Chaos has always been reading into that and just putting it up on it and shutting it down. So now that in that last run, they did try to speed it up pretty significantly by going for more of kind of an all-in push, especially after getting that opening pick. But still doesn't work. So that leads us into the pause that we have now, where they do need to come up with something new, and they need to do it relatively quickly. Otherwise, we're going to be looking at map number 3.
Steel barely finished that first kill, by the way. He actually started to switch targets before I even realized he finished him off, because he was shooting at his toes. A little bit still flashed from the flashbang that came out over the wall. One of the things I like right now with what we're seeing from Chaos is load distribution is a little bit better than what we've seen from them in previous maps. Yes, you still have Infinite lagging behind a little bit, despite the fact that he did pick up a big 3K earlier on. But everyone seems to be working together. Much more cohesive unit currently. So they do break the money for VP to a certain degree. They're on full loss bonus, so they're still going to be able to get pistols and armor. And here comes the double peek with a run boost. Benlead sees it, and he just wants to get out of dodge. I don't know if he's going to have time. He tries to run away. He does have support here, but it's actually Whippy, so it was both ops playing the same position. Steel has now swapped into that spot instead.
So Steel looking to hold off the play from Virtus.pro. A minute and 10 seconds remaining here. VP are going to throw a little bit of utility down to open up the push into Ivy for them, but it's not really going to work out in the way that they would have hoped here. All it really does is spread Chaos out a little bit, and they're going to return to those positions in just a couple seconds as the molly fades away. Nade's also going up close to the smoke. It does work in a sense of it baits out a decent amount of utility from these CTs, but not by a huge margin. Just really a couple of flashbangs and HE grenades, and now Steel's going to be able to peek into this. To be fair, he only goes 1 for 1. There's still hope here yet for VP, but once again, you have to go back to the reality that they are just on pistols here, and their odds of getting much done past this point is going to be pretty tough.
Here comes the boost from Whippy up on top. Peering towards the site, both ops watching the same angle. Cam taking his time as he was playing in the ladder room. Flashbang goes out and actually doesn't do the CT side any favors. The smoke's going to go out as well. They might get a bomb plant off of this.
Just trying to leverage as much control as they can, and there's that plant you were talking about. What? Nicely done. Just straight up dodges Ben's op shot by ducking under it. And now Mihu, he's got an op to play with. PHR's got a rifle. This is a very winnable round for Virtus.pro all of a sudden. Another one picked up by Mihu. He's going to try to swing out, taking so much damage and finally finished off by Infinite. Where is PHR, though? Hiding in the back lane. He's going to be able to find the first frag onto Infinite. Cam yet to touch the bomb, so no real reason for PHR to peek, and you can hear him jumping around. Should know exactly where he is, and there you go! Virtus.pro get away with murder in that round.
I don't think Cam could really find out where the bomb was. He was looking for the bomb. He's wandering all over that bomb train. And then by the time he even realizes it, it's almost too late. This was the kill that really sealed the deal, though. Mihu getting this op made things so much harder.
So a big mistake from Chaos, letting Virtus.pro get away with that, especially when they had them covered for so long, had them pinched out over towards Ivy. Seemed like it was going to be your typical anti-eco with a quick shutdown coming at any second. But no, VP still was able to battle past it, and most importantly, got out onto the site, which was the hardest part about that. And taking down the op and getting the rest of the control, that point forward was actually very, very winnable for them, even though they had a man down.
Chaos going for the timeout here to talk things over. Definitely need to not repeat those mistakes. The rounds were punishing enough as they were leading into this, so their money wasn't really in a great spot. So they should be on a save here, and they are. It's a full save. A P250 and a smoke is the only purchase. So that lead going to be gone unless they can somehow make this round work. Aggressive push towards Ivy, and Veggie says no.
Great spray control from Veggie there to not lose himself in that situation. Gets a nice little 3K for his trouble. Not the most difficult thing in the world, but also not necessarily the easiest to survive that. So Whippy and Steel, now the last two remaining, both incredibly split up as well. Whippy over by Ivy, where we saw the push before. Steel, well, he's dead.
One of the biggest separating factors right now for these two teams is the strength on their eco rounds. It doesn't feel like Chaos has really done much damage with their pistols. I say that as Whippy gets the kill, but compare this to what we just watched from VP, or several rounds we've seen already from VP in this series. Their pistol armors, or even just straight pistols, get way more going than they ever should.
For Chaos, it's been a relatively safe assumption when they're not in eco that it's going to be a lost round for them, whereas you just don't have that assumption at all right now with the VP and the way things are looking. It's there in the back of your mind, but you can't really justify it considering how much they've gotten away with on ecos. Or at least half ecos.
Here comes that heavy investment from the CT side. A fast play coming out from VP. Snacks is already out. He's going to have a free target. No, he actually gets killed immediately after that. Back and forth at first, but it is VP who gained control of the site. Feels stuck here on the default spot, and he'll fall down as well. It's all up to Infinite, who actually gets two.
Infinite, a chance to swing this back under his team's control. He's going to have to pull out a 4K in order to do that. And for now, that means he's going to back up. Head over towards the inner bomb site. Also looking for a flanker, opening up an opportunity for himself to move into a different position. He's going to head back through CT and try to take the back hauls here. Bomb tunnel finds the angle to Snatchy, but is not able to realize it's the player with the op in time. So, as you might expect, he'll lose that duel. Another round will go up onto the board for VP, and more importantly, VP will now take the lead back from Chaos.
Again, this is reminding me of that crazy game. A little too close for comfort right now for Chaos. They've given up the lead that they fought for. They were down 10-5 and they stole that lead away. And then they've watched that lead evaporate. Back down to pistols they go. And VP will have a free round. They literally just run right into the B site.
I think he meant that crazy train game.
Yes, that crazy train game. They were going off the rails on a crazy train. Go ahead, mouth the guitar solo.
Oh, I don't think I can. I don't think I actually know it.
You don't know that guitar solo?
No, I know the song, but like, yeah, I don't think I can remember the guitar solo. Either way, this round's, pretty much going as you guys would have expected. Chaos going to try their best to wrap back around and I think throw some pressure at VP, hoping to get a couple kills. But this should be pretty much over. Oh, wow. Mihu, how are you not dead?
They literally weren't even looking that direction, and still Chaos can't get it going with their pistols. This really is just illustrating my point before. Their pistol rounds, their ecos just are lackluster. They do almost no damage in those rounds. Sometimes they get one kill, whereas VP did that consistently. And then in the rounds they're losing, they're doing so much damage to Chaos that all they have to do is win one round and they're broke.
That's exactly what we've just seen transpire here. The lead now back under VP's control and starting to grow ever more. This is dangerous for Chaos. It seemed like they were coming back into it, like they would have been able to rally back this control on the CT side, but it's not so certain anymore. The saves, though, have finally given them another full buy, including the op back onto Whippy. This may very well be their last chance to bring the game under their control. Otherwise, VP are going to run it and take the 2-0 win.
Just bombarded by flashbangs as again VP change up the pace and go fast outside. Infinite gets a response, Cam as well, so Chaos now has some mid-round control. Kills going back and forth, and it's Chaos who comes out on top of the duels, 3-on-2 with 1:20 left on the clock.
Mihu just looking for any opportunity. He might be able to get looked away at the wrong time. Steel gets away with that one as he takes out Mihu, leaving PHR all alone in a bit of a peculiar position. He's going to try, I would imagine, try to push for B. If he's even going to really attempt anything at this point, that's the question. As there is a minute remaining still. So that'll be his decision. The team overall does have a somewhat healthy supply of money, so.
Very reminiscent of Nuke, where basically Chaos will have to tie. It's not as bad, but
it's a much more realistic chance for Chaos to get back into this map comparatively to Nuke.
Correct.
PHR going to go out. Actually doesn't get a duel here. I thought, yeah, we do see that happen now. But he sees his opportunity to at least get away with the extra money from this situation, as he knows he's not winning it. And now that he's been spotted, he knows he's not getting away. There we go. The extra money confirmed for his team. He's going to try his best to clutch this out. But as you might expect, Chaos, with the smart play they brought to the table throughout both today and yesterday, they're going to be able to very easily pinch a single player out.
So a little bit of extra money going the way of VP. Chaos going to grab that 13th round the second they decide to stick the bomb. They're wandering around looking for that extra equipment and weaponry.
Might be a few guns lurking out there they want, you know?
But it is going to be 14-13. Chaos down 1 round. Again, overtime the possibility. We thought maybe we'd see it on Nuke. And in my head, even though I'm rooting for Chaos, I always expected that 3rd map to come if it was going to happen. If they were going to win this series, they were going to have to take things to Inferno.
So, into the next round we go. Both teams still at full buy capacity because of the leftover money that VP had. It doesn't go very far beyond this, though. We could more than likely see a force from VP, especially with Mihu's total. That's at least 2, maybe 3 guns getting dropped from him. This is definitely where it starts to get a little bit worrisome again for really both teams. Look at it, how this could play out over the next few rounds.
Mihu with a 30 bomb currently, 31-13. Impressive performance from the young star for VP. VP right now back to their slow and methodical play style that we saw for the most part in both this map and on Nuke. 55 seconds left as they start to work their way up. Ivy Steel is playing defense here, as is Ben Leet, but Ben smoked off currently. Might be a small gap on the right side of that one. 40 seconds now, and VP still hasn't made their move.
It's that very slow play, which has caused them actually a lot of issues in the past. Ben's got the split here now. Mihu peeks, he should have him. If we see the retreat come in from Veggie, should also have the kill into him. May does some good damage, but no, PHR is going to strike first, and the smoke prevents the refrag from the Opper. It's still going to be found by Whippy. Not in this position you were expecting it. Mihu, Cam, Ben, all picking up frags. It's a favor to Chaos, but look, it was all a bait. It was all to keep the CTs on the outside, as VP have gone through the back holes, into box, and out onto the B site.
Losing this round would effectively lose them the game. Chaos has to get this retake, and they have to do it well. They cannot survive with just a few bodies. Just one man surviving, winning the round would actually decimate their money. Snatchy up top with the AWP. Watching for the push to come through. They haven't yet, but they have the intel. They know they came through CT. He heard them. Snacks is going to get the flank kill, and now they're going to try to get in there. The bomb stuck now by Cam, and unfortunately, body sticking outside the smoke. You can see just what that does to the money here for Chaos. Again, VP has reached 15.
Cam just full sends it there. Does not work out for him. And now the death bells begin to toll here. This is the end of the road for Chaos. It has to be perfect from this point forward, at least until they get to OT. Otherwise, they will be eliminated here from DreamHack, and we will see Virtus.pro move onward into the next match. Much expected pause here from Chaos. They still have one more to use after this, too. Need to come up with a big strat. As far as I can see from what we just saw on the screen there, the buy does not look too good.
Not sure what we're going to see coming in from Chaos. I do believe they had a little bit of money to work with. Ben Lee was sitting just around 3K. Cam on about 1,500, so there's something there. And there you go. They do have the AWP. 2 FAMAS, an UMP, and an MP9. Fast play coming in from Snatchy. Snatchy with an uncharacteristic miss. But Mihu has gone fast into the ladder room. Fast play yet again seems to be the name of the game for VP as they try to shut this one down now.
This one they're trapped.
But look at this. Infant has already made his way to the top of the ladder. If he takes his time, he might be able to flank them perfectly.
Try to drop in. Use the ladder as a catch so he doesn't make any noise. Getting up right now, but now he's missed the Q on 2 of them. Whatever! Whippy shut them all down. Snacks does catch the flank from Infinite, but the damage was done as they tried to move out from the T drop. Got the rest of the players that are going to try to push their way back in now, and in fact, VP looks like they might be considering a fallback here, trying to rotate away. You've got a 1-to-1 split either way from Chaos. So it's really just pick your poison from VP.
Relying so heavily on Whippy here.
Cam.
Playing towards back 6.
Cam's going to rotate that now as well. Whippy finding one for free, getting a second. Snacks will trade. But amazing work by Whippy. On top of the kills he got earlier on in the round, he's brought this down to a 1v1. The 4K, potentially to save his team in this matchup. Snacks now alone in the 1v1, looks away. Oh my goodness, the train just saved his life. Smoke will go down, give him a bit more room to maneuver here now. Cam will not attempt to fire through it. He's going to keep himself quiet as he creeps up to the train. Snacks, though, with a single shot, ends the match in favor of VP. We see them go forward. And unfortunately, a very unfortunate loss on the round for the folks on Chaos means they are done and eliminated.
You know what? It's a valiant performance from Chaos. They really did look strong at times. There's something for them to build off of. I feel like they've got the right pieces there. They just need to get more time, work together, more practice, more play, more opportunities like this, for example. Unfortunately, we won't see that third map. I thought for a second it was going to happen, but not today.
It's looking like at the very minimum we would have gotten an overtime with the way that that round was going down. Beautiful stuff from the folks on Chaos, but it's not enough to take their victory over VP in this matchup. So there you go, out 0-2 overall on matches for this event. And they will also go out first in Group B here. Virtus.pro move forward. They're not through yet, just to clarify. They'll have one more match to play later today to make it through.
We do have the desk standing by to break things up. Why don't you guys go ahead and take it?
Yeah, thanks.
You were wrong. You were wrong. Again.
I actually don't think I've been right yet, have I?
Nah, just wanted to point it out.
Honestly, it might be a little bit of a curse. Well, we'll have to see. But I will say one thing. Chaos, in all their matches, although they are going to be sent home, they looked pretty strong. What did VP actually manage to do this time around to take the win?
They were better overall, I'd say, but it was, as you said, it was much more competitive than I initially would have thought. I think Chaos played okay. I think they played well. Coming into this tournament, we knew that the chances of them winning a game was not necessarily too high. I think they had to do that in the best-of-1 scenario against Crazy yesterday. They came real close. Today against VP, I think the first map of Nuke, that was VP's all the time. I think they were in pretty much control. They seemed to control the game. They seemed to have a good idea of what to expect from the guys from Chaos. But into Train, right? I think part of that was close, and at a point I felt they were kind of letting it slip out of their hands.
They definitely did, and it felt a little bit kind of deja vu as the Train that we saw yesterday. The scoreline was 12-10, and Chaos was in the lead, and once again, they lost the pivotal round to Pistols, Glocks, and P250s. And from that point on, Virtus.pro was just able to grind it out and win out in the end. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I thought Chaos showed some good form. You could see definitely that they are a new team. They lost both second round force buys from Virtus.pro, and that these kinds of small rookie mistakes are not something that we generally see from the top teams.
Sure.
And I think Chaos is trying to make it to that point.
Yeah, interesting thing now for the rest of the day, just to look forward a little bit before we do continue breaking that down. We have rematches for the rest of the day in our decider matches now for both Group A and Group B, and we're going to be sending some more teams home. Chaos going to be the second to fall. Chaos and Triumph were the first two teams. VP looking forward after we see this one. How do you think they'll fare in the rematch, Ben?
I think they have a decent chance. I think the star players of this team is now finally showing up. We got to see Mihu play well again. We got to see Snatchy with AWP, and then Snacks had a decent series as well. So those three players are, let's say, the catalysts behind this Virtus.pro lineup. So if they have another great series, then I would definitely say they have a good chance of actually making it into the semifinal.
Yeah, you talk about the performance that Snacks was able to put on before we even entered the matchup. For the head-to-head, you selected Steel and Snacks.
Yeah, and I think they both played well. I think Steel had a great series overall as well. He's also the in-game leader, so it's very impressive that he was able to frag the way he did. I think they can be proud, Christine, right? But it's a little bit sad we don't get to see that third map, isn't it?
I have to agree, and you're right, Jacob. You mentioned Snacks being the kind of key element for Virtus.pro. In the first map, he was a little bit more quiet. He didn't really need to be so loud. His teammates were doing their job, doing the work. In the second man, when I was watching Snacks, his movements, his crosshair placement, I was like getting flashbacks of what could be, what Snacks, the greatness of Snacks could be. So he's certainly kind of warming up, I think.
All right, well, we can ask him. We got him standing by right now. Snacks, do you feel like you're warming up?
A little bit, guys, a little bit. you see, I have a jacket now because it's a bit cold here.
That was the missing recipe. There we go. Now he's got the jacket.
Listen up, Snacks. It's not a secret that Virtus.pro nowadays are not the same Virtus.pro as it was in the old days. Can you try to talk to us a little bit about the new team environment you guys got going? I think Mihu is a key player for you.
Yeah, I think so. Mihu is a really great player. Yeah, you can see it on the map like every time. Snatch is also good, but I think we are kind of, how to say it, like closed, or maybe we didn't open yet for the play we used to it. Yeah.
Snacks, it's been so long since we've actually spoken with you or your teammates. How has the rebuilding process been? Who is your in-game leader, and who's kind of responsible for all the preparations coming into tournaments like these?
I think like the preparation things is on the Cuban side. I'm doing the in-game leading role. It's not that easy. I already felt that on many tournaments and events, so yeah.
Snacks, you're going up in a rematch now in a few hours. Do you believe you're going to win that?
I hope so.
You hope so?
If not, then I will go for some shopping mall, of course, because we are in USA, yeah?
Well, I can't blame you.
That's definitely one plan. Snacks, thank you for your time, and good luck in that rematch later today.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, yeah, I mean, now we need to actually start thinking about these rematches, right? And if we're just going to see a repeat of history, or if we're going to see things change. I feel like we've been talking about so many of these squads that are still here to play on this day, looking flat yesterday. And overall, do we think that's still the case for these teams? We still have Sprout and Illuminar, VP, and INTZ to play against each other. Do you think any of these squads still look flat?
No, but I think any of these squads are like they could win all of them. I feel like it's 4 squads that if you had to line them up against each other, you'd say that everyone could beat each other on any given day. I think it's a really close field of competition, and I think we saw today that Sprout is playing better. We saw today Virtus.pro is playing better, and we saw yesterday obviously what INTZ could do. So I think all these 4 teams right now stand a good chance of making it through. Illuminar would be my go-to team out of these 3 in terms of, you know, challenging heroic, challenging crazy. But I think these teams right now are showing a somewhat decent level, and that's great.
Do you feel the same way? Like if you had to pick one of these squads out of the field that's here today to move forward in the championship bracket, would you be on the same page as Pimp?
I think so. I mean, I liked Innocent's interview yesterday. I liked the fact that he was like, you know what, we're not so great online, but we are killers on LAN. We're here to play. I really liked that approach coming out of them, and he's absolutely right. The 4 teams remaining, it's going to be quite the battle.
Now, I know you have something prepared for us. This might throw a little bit extra spotlight onto some of our teams being flat or not.
Yeah, this is going to be a replay. I just wanted to showcase and highlight Chaos and the player in Cam. I think that he had a little bit of a quiet tournament coming into this series, but this round was so pivotal for Cam. And just pay attention to the smoke. It's going to start off the round a little bit pretty decent, pretty normal, but Steel throws this smoke towards this connector. It allows all the players from Chaos to quickly push through the inner. Snatchy makes the really intelligent play to push through that smoke to help out his teammate Snacks, but really, this is where the scrappiness begins. This entire train game was very scrappy. You're going to see Steel rendezvous back up with Cam. He understands that PHR is coming for a quick flank. Cam is feeding Steel a bunch of information. He's just spotted Mihu here. He spotted Veggie here. And the crazy part about this play is these players, I'm going to just fast forward it a little bit here. Cam and Steel then just do a pivot and run straight through that connector, go out to the outside bomb site, get into a post-plant scenario, and they actually end up winning this round. If we could just go to Cam's point of view, he actually ends up getting an ace, and this is going to be his 2nd ace on train for the Chaos side of things. And I just thought that this sort of pivot, like scrappy, audible plays within the mid-round was really intelligent coming out of Chaos.
Yeah, I feel like all in all, just a lot of praise for Chaos, even on their way out of the tournament. We've kind of heard that echoed on the desk, but now we're going to have to start focusing on the teams that are left. We have a lot of work to do still here today. 2 more series. We're going to be figuring out who goes to the championship bracket right after this.